Yeah, they were exhibits at trial.
That's right. These were the photos I was taking from the roadway. And all of the protesters were out beyond the white line where you pull up to the stop sign at the intersection to go in the roadway up to the base. And in our other trial of the Hancock 17, we were acquitted because 9 of the 10 policemen couldn't identify what the base boundary was. But all of that is just a quibbling of lines. The real victims need us to be there to speak about and name what the war crimes are. And as Carol read that statement by the 4 drone pilots, the 4 drone operators, and to understand that it's been backed up by the drone papers, the evidence that 90% of the people who are being killed by drone strikes are civilians and innocent people. The dehumanizing that's going on by our military from the top down is horrible. And an example of that is just the use of the name, as it says here on these posters. There's one over here. It says, "We are not bug splat." But that's what the drone operators programming is called, bug splat. And that forces our young men who are put in the position of having to do the strikes, this takes from their souls. So when I was reading the Red Hand Project, which is a blog of the drone pilots, and I read how they had to pull out their, they were given the white envelopes after they did their finishing their tour of duty. And for them to be reading in the white envelope, okay, I did so many missions. I killed 240 terrorists. And then to go further down the page and realize, oh my God, I killed 370 so many people, innocent people. Imagine what your soul feels like. And to carry around that sin, it tears at us. And this is tearing us as a nation. We do the extrajudicial killing of black men and brown men in the streets of the United States, and thank God for the Black Lives Movement and the drone witness across the country and across the world to stop the drone assassination programs that's affecting people that are brown and black in other parts of the world. This has got to stop. And white people of privilege need to step forward in the tradition of the celebration of yesterday, of Martin Luther King and his life and his legacy, along with how many millions of people that were a part of the civil rights movement, with that abolitionist movement. That's the spirit that we go forward with today. And I say, I invite all the media people to please, and I encourage, and I actually do trust that if the American people would look closely at these facts, if we look closely at the lies that this program is being upheld by, that they would do away with it. If we looked and listened closely to the only family that was brought to Congress, the Ur-Rahman family from Pakistan, that came to sit in Congress and speak about what happened to their grandmother. Here I am a grandmother. Their grandmother was considered bug splat. She's not here today. People are worried about my well-being. I'm alive. She's not. And her grandchildren have been hit with the shrapnel and watching the trauma of losing their grandmother. How dare we? And her son said that the excuse was we were going after 5 guys in a car on a road near her house. And her son said, there is no road by my mother's house. And my mother was not in the house. She was in the garden out in the yard picking okra. So those lies are what we're basing our program on. And we end up with 90% of the victims are innocent. And even the 10% that we claim are terrorists, how dare we not give them due process? Isn't that what we expect within our system here? Why would we not expect the same for anybody else? So until we move forward with the proper moral courage and sacrifice, which this whole community has been a part of, we got to do more of it. Until that happens, we're going to be lagging behind, and we need to step up. And I'm so grateful that I can be a part of the many people that have been on trial. I see Bonnie Mahoney, who's a grandma, and so many other people here in this room who have been in jail, who've done the witness, and we invite more to join us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, all right, here we go.